At night, there's a lot of important trains that runs at night, such as the mail train. One of these important trains was known as the Flying Kipper. But one night, there was only itinerary vans, which are big ones, so the Fat Controller decided to add some more vans to it, but there was no other vans available. The only ones that were available were old Flying Kipper vans. So the Fat Controller decided to use them. Dodge was shunting them. To them. Splatter already shunted the other vans for Henry. Henry's the one who paused the train. Soon the vans were coupled up. Splatter and Dodge usually work at the quarry on Thomas's branch line, but this evening the Fat Controller needed down in the harbour to get the Flying Kipper ready. They do quite sometimes do this job, in case they're not busy at the quarry. Soon, the vans were ready for the train. It was a big, long road train, but Henry was strong for the Flying Kipper. He pulled it for many years. Yes, and knows the route very well. Henry does like pulling the Flying Kipper, but he was grumbling about how many vans there were. His driver spoke to him nicely. You just have to put it up. Oh, fella, said his driver, but don't worry, there will be a back engine for you when we get to Gordon's Hill. That made Henry a bit better, but he still grumbled about how many vans he had to pull. Meanwhile, Duck was just resting. He delivered those old vans from Brandon Docks. He was just resting when Edward pulled up beside him. Hello, Duck, he said. Oh, hello, Edward, said Duck. What are you doing? What are you doing out so late? Shouldn't you be at Wellsworth, being with Philip? I would, but I'm taking the mail train tonight. Odd. I know I heard you pulled it for only one time. I thought Percy and James usually takes it. Edward chuckled. Good. Percy is taking it, but I'm taking James's tonight. Oh, why is that now? Oh, he has to do some other midnight work, so I offered to take his mail train. And it is kind of a nice chains. And since this would be the second time pulling it. Oh, well, this wasn't the first time Jane wasn't told not to take the mail train. Don't forget, someone else had to pull the mail train when he took a goods train to bring to Barrow and found Rachel. Yes, said Edward. Anyways, will you be working late? Well, said Duck. Look, I'm being told I have to be Henry's back engine when he gets to Gordon's Hill, so I'll be helping up the hill. Well, said Edward. Where will you exactly be when you get to the hill? Oh, I'll be at Wellsworth when Henry arrives. That's when I start to help him. Oh, I'll be there as well, said Edward. Oh, that's cool, said Duck. But be careful, said Edward. Be careful with the fish. Why is that? Said Duck. Because I know how dangerous fish are. How they're not in the water, said Duck. Well, one time I heard Thomas needed to fill his water to tanks, so he and his driver and fireman went to a bridge on his branch line, and they fished out water, but a fish was in his boiler. So they had to go to Farquhar and get it out, and the factory had to teach them how to fish. So what? Said Duck. How are those fish can get into me and Henry's boilers? Like, they're in vans. Well, yes, said Edward, but but I'm saying when Thomas got fish in his boiler once, and that was a long time before you came to the island. Huh, said Duck. Well, oh, Thomas was probably not following the Great Western Way then. Well, yes, said Edward, but I'm just saying, that's all. However, but Duck was a bit annoyed by what Edward was saying. Huh, huh. Me and Henry will follow the Great Western Way. Even if he doesn't have to, I would. Oh well, said Edward. I'll let you get on your walk then. And I see you at Wellsworth, said Edward, as he puffed away with the mail train. Yes, Edward, see you at Wellsworth, said Duck, but he was a bit annoyed by what Edward said to him. Meanwhile, James puffed into the harbour, but he had to collect a goods train. He saw Henry, his best friend, there. Hello, Hen, said James. Oh, hey, James, said Henry. Are you grumbling? Oh, said Henry, it's nothing. Just that my friend Kipper tonight has some old vans, and my driver said it'll be a heavy train, so he said there'll be a back engine for it, but I don't know who it is. Nor did he. He said according to what I've been heard, we have to wait until we get to Wellsworth. Unless what? Said James. Maybe you could be my back engine, like we are best friends after all. Best friends do help each other. Plus, said Henry, you're all a back engine after all if Edward's not there. James didn't like the sound of this. No way, said James. Henry was a bit puzzled. Wait, what? You heard me. I am not helping you up Gordon's Hill with that fine kipper. But James, I thought we were best friends. Like best friends help each other. Duh. And I told you to help me. Like you helped Spencer up the hill one time when he was Pony Express. James didn't care. So what? He was Pony Express. That's not for fish. I'm not helping you up that hill, Henry, because I don't want my lovely splendid red paint and my lovely splendid nameplate to get covered in fish or smell of it. Henry was a bit puzzled. He never seen his best friend act like this before when he asks for help. Plus, said James, the mail train is the most important train to run at night and the most important train on the island. Henry sniggered. Oh, is that so then? He wanted to get back at James, but he settled for not helping. Well, where is the mail train then? It doesn't seem you have it. And I think I know why you don't want to help me. Because you're afraid to get stuck in the water again, like when you were afraid of that haunted mine. Plus, said Henry, that water probably had fish in it anyways. Maybe that's why you don't want to help me. Henry sniggered as he puffed away. James soon catched up. Wait a minute, what do you mean by that? I couldn't see where I was going. Well, said Henry, it kind of looked like you fell in the water. Like, I'm sure I must have seen some bit of fish in there. James was cross. Well, you did apologize the next morning, but Henry didn't listen. And so that's probably the reason why you don't want to be my back engine, James. It's because you fell into the water. Or maybe the time when you felt ill. Maybe you have fish in your boil like Thomas did. James was crossed. Well, you're the one who helped me to the steamworks. Oh well, said Henry. That was ages ago. James groaned. You know what, Hen? Forget it. and he puffed away. Just then, Edward pulled up beside Henry. We still point the mail train. He heard the argument between them. He pulled up beside Henry. He heard what happened. Oh, Henry, do you really go hard on him? Henry saw Edward, but he wouldn't help me. He refused to help me. So that's how it is. But do you not hear Duck will be your back engine? Said Edward. But he told me he'd be at Wellsworth with me waiting for you when you get there. Said Henry. That's good of you to tell me that. I wish I told you before James even got here, said Edward. Or even Doug even told you, because he was just here dropping off the vans. The old ones. Huh, said Henry. James observed what I said to him. And if we're going to have another fallout, then it shall be. Very well then, said Edward. But don't make the wrong mistake like you and James had with your fallout about some jokes, said Edward. And with that, Edward puffed away with the mail train. But Edward's advice still didn't change Henry's mind. Soon, Henry's train was ready to go. And with that, he puffed away with the flying kipper, as strong as he can go. They were making good timing with the flying kipper, but dropping off fish everywhere they go. Henry always enjoyed pulling the flying kipper, and loved the point for many years, and being the only engine who pulled it for many years. There we go. That was the delivery for Great Walton. Next stopped Wellsworth, said Henry. He knew Duck would be there waiting as Edward told him. At Wellsworth, Duck and Edward were there. Edward finished his mail run, and he was just telling Duck about what Henry said to James and what he said to him. Oh, that's not like Henry. I thought he changed when he left Titmus Sheds. Including James. They have, said Edward. But sometimes James can boast about his pains time to time. And that's not like Henry. He hasn't even gotten his old ways for a while. Like, I do remember when they were making fun of me with Gordon about when I lost a cattle van on the main line until they saw a cow on the viaduct. Oh, said Duck. So Henry and James kind of do this time to time. They have changed, said Edward, but they sometimes do it time to time, that's all. Oh, said Duck. Well, I hope it ends soon. Just leave them, Duck, said Edward. That's what I always do. Just rest someone off, and they will learn from their lesson. Very well then, Edward, said Duck. Just then they heard a whistle, so from the distance. Since that must be Henry's whistle. It is, said Duck. Henry pulled in with the flying kipper. Edward and Duck soon forgotten all about James and Henry's argument, and could see that their friend made it safely. Henry gave a tweet of his whistle. I'm ready for you, Duck, he said. Duck was full plenty water and coat and tooted his whistle. Coming, Henry. Thanks for letting me stay at your yard, Edward. What? Said Duck. See you around, said Duck. Goodbye, Duck. And good luck with the and good luck tonight, said Edward. You need it. Soon Duck switched tracks and he was buffeted up. I'm ready, said Duck. Let's go, said Henry. And with that, Duck and Henry pulled and pushed out Wellsworth with the flying kipper. Soon they made it to Gordon's Hill. It was kind of a struggle to get up to. Come on, said Henry. I'm trying, said Duck. But then there was trouble. But there was no brake van. There was a tail lamp on the last van that Duck was pushing from. But the problem was, it fell off. Duck couldn't see the tail lamp. Henry, have you gone up? Henry, have you run off on me? Henry was puzzled. Why is the train starting to slow down? He said. Duck couldn't see with his lamp. Henry, where are you gone? Henry heard Duck's voice. But I'm still here. Where are you? You might be pushing me. Then there was trouble. Then Henry started to slow down. Without Duck pushing him, he was slowing down. The vans were so heavy. But Duck couldn't see. Better go full speed then, said Duck. Duck used all of his speed and went up the hill. Then it happened. Ah, said Duck. Duck biffed the vans and fish went everywhere. Duck landed on his sides. The old fish vans fell off the rails, some of them, and some of the bigger vans were kind of a bit damaged. And since the damage was so hard that it hit Henry, which made Henry bump off the rails. The next day, it was by the afternoon that help arrived. James bought the Chinese breakdown cranes. Ethel bought workmen in the work-till coach. They soon got to work. Duck was lifted back onto the rails beside Edward. As for the train itself, the vans were still smashed, and fish were still everywhere. They still had to recover them, though. As for Henry, the Chinese breakdown cranes were able to put him back on the rails as well. Henry felt sorry for now he was rude to James. The back controller scolded Henry. James told me everything about last night. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir, said Henry. Look, I know James said no to you. I did scold at him for saying no to you. Now, James saying no to you since he's a back engine was wrong of him, but you should have made things worse to bring it up about the past. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir, said Henry. James came up with the Chinese breakdown cranes. They won't stop removing the vans. The cranes were in place. They were getting rid of the old flying kipper vans that Duck smashed during the night. The others came up and watched what was happening. Duck knew whatever said to him last night at the harbor was probably the right thing about fish. The accident wasn't your fault, Duck, said the back controller. We should have checked, make sure the tail lamp was secured properly. Maybe next time it's best to have brake vans on all trains. They were handier. Yes, sir, said Duck. I think Ethel was right about last night, including about everything. Edward did warn me about when Thomas got the fish one time. I see. Well, Duck, said Edward. At least you learned your lesson like what Thomas did. Yes, said Duck. Meanwhile, with Henry and James James came up beside Henry. He was uncoupled from the cranes. Well. Well, decided to have a crash, eh? Caused by Duck, said James cheekily. Maybe this train was full of fish after all. Henry, we knew James was trying to get back at him from last night. Oh, very well, James. You win. I'm sorry what I said to you last night. That's all right, said James. The Fat Controller told me that I should have said yes, and he was right. I should have said yes because I'm a back engine, including a rescue engine. And Henry and Hen, you're much more important than my red paint and my nameplates after all. Well, can we try and be friends again? Of course, James, said Henry. It's glad to be back together again. At least it wasn't like the first time. Of course, said Henry. Then Duck spoke to Edward. I'm sorry about last night, said Duck. You know what I'm like with the Great Western Way. It's not a problem, said Edward. We all learn from our mistakes. And thanks for trying to warn me. I think I understand what Thomas went through, even though I wasn't fishing like him. Edward smiled. It's all right. What's more important than me and James came to help you guys. And we're glad that both of you learned your lessons. Me and Henry have definitely learned our lessons, said Duck. About going up a hill and probably fish as well. As while the cleaning up of the train went on, everyone chatted for a while. I think Duck and Henry have learned a big lesson on that night, haven't they? And I'm sure they will never make a mistake like that again. And I think the boat engine have learned a great deal about asking for help and about fish. I think these two engines have learned a good lesson, don't you?